The first step in the precision alignment of the car, after we have the chassis level and the wheels level and we've checked for binding, is we have to set the track measurement. And as far as the track measurement, we mean we need both front wheels the same distance from the center line of the chassis, and we need both rear wheels the same distance from the center line of the chassis. To do this, first of all, we have to find the center line. And we do this by measuring between the shock pickup points, mainly because they are the ones where the weight is distributed from. And we take a tape measure, and you put the 1 marker on the tape measure right in the center of the pickup bolt, and measure across the beam to the other shock pickup. On this car, we read 26 inches. You take the 1 away that you have in the first place, so you have 25 inches divided in half is 12.5 inches. And you would mark that in the center line of the beam. You actually use a scribe or a felt pen or whatever to measure this width. Then, making sure that the wheel is at 0 camber, in other words, that the wheel is straight up and down with our camber gauge, we measure from, on an outboard brake car, the disc. And you wrap the tape measure around the disc and measure to the center line of the car. On one side, you get a measurement. You do exactly the same on the opposite side of the car and make sure that it reads the same thing. If it does not, let's say that the right wheel is a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch closer than the left one, and both wheels are at 0 camber, then this wheel must be moved out. And you have to do this mainly with the camber link here and both bolts on the bottom of the arm if it does not have a provision for track adjustment. To review the reasons for the track adjustment and the caster adjustment, we're going to use some visual aids here to aid in understanding this technique. Now, the track adjustment itself, this is our chassis. These are the 2 wheels. We're using the front of the car as our example here. The track adjustment is the measurement from the tire to the center line of the car here, which we have figured out by inscribing the front bulkhead on the car, and making sure it is the same on both sides. Now, the reasons for having the camber 0 when we check this, once again, is that you can see here that if we tilt in this wheel such as it has a lot of negative camber, then obviously this measurement here is going to be a lot less than the one on the opposite side. And so we're going to have an erroneous reading that we're not going to be able to use. So we have to make sure that the camber is always 0 before we measure the track, so we make sure we have an accurate reading. Obviously, if the camber was 0 and the wheel was out too far, then we would know to move it back into where it belongs. Okay. Now, as far as doing this on both ends of the car, you want to make sure that both rear sides are the same and both front sides are the same, and make sure the tire pressures are up, the blocks are under the tires, and that the camber is 0. Now, when we're done, then the camber is 0 all the way around the car, and we don't have to adjust it again. We're finished with that adjustment.